The increasing natural disasters, especially floods, during the last quarter century are raising the casualties and economic losses in Taiwan. The most severe hazard in Taiwan is flooding induced by typhoons and storms in summer and autumn. By comparing the rivers around the world, the ones in Taiwan have the steepest slopes, the largest discharge per unit drainage area, and the shortest time of concentrations. Rapid urbanization without proper land uses management usually worsen the problem. Consequently, flood hazards mitigation has become the most essential task for Taiwan to deal with. Structural solutions usually provide an innocent impression to civilians, even including the officers, that their lives and properties are free from being flooded. Urbanization often increased the flood risk for the residents. It forced the government to spend more budgets on structural works and re-strengthening their safeties. The vicious circle cannot solve the problems.
We invest the funding on flood vulnerable area, and we did see some results, as explained by the Water Resources Agency. But the general public take no interest on that. They are asking for 100% water flood-proof society, which is impossible. Well, in other words, it's not economically feasible. As we know that City of Japan have a very big master flood control project, which costs a lot. And the budget is way too high for all other cities, even for Taipei City.
That's why non-structural measures such as prevention monitoring, early warning, report, and response have become popular solutions for flood hazard mitigation in the world. Japan and the United Kingdom, both are island countries with similar geographic conditions to Taiwan, have used the flood maps to set up the non-structural strategies, and the technology utilizes weather and historical data to identify at-risk or high-risk areas during periods of heavy rain and high winds. But the problem is further compounded by climate change and extreme weather. That's why we need technology that utilizes weather and historical data to identify some high-risk areas during heavy rains and high winds, and the water management work cannot wait any longer and needs to be speeded up. Just a few hours of warning can make all the difference when it comes to safeguarding people and property from flash floods.
We are shifting from the approach to make more facilities aimed to establish good warning and evacuating systems for people. With the help of new technologies, we can do a better prediction on 1 hour or 3 hours rainfall, or predict the possible flooding area. With this information, people can take measures to prevent their properties. For instance, if you live in the city, you can think of something to prevent water flowing to your basement. This time, I received a warning message in my smartphone during the 2nd of June. And with this information, I can take measures. However, we still need to present something and educate people to take proper actions. So more detail or more information should be given to people to reduce the loss.
The annual precipitation in Taiwan is about 2,500 millimeters, and more than 78% of the precipitation concentrates in monsoon and typhoon season during May to October. The tremendous amount of rainfall accompanying typhoons often results in serious inundation. On average, the number of floods that hit Taiwan was increased from 3 times per year in the 70s to 5.6 times per year in the late 1990s. And as you can see, the typhoons and the number of storms are increasing year by year. Although the authorities had increased investments in flood structural work, but the flood damage losses did not slow down in trend. The major factor exacerbating the flood damages is overdevelopment of urban areas.
I think the drought and flood are still the major events. And also, the other issue is about the health condition relating to the rising of the temperature in the summer. Last year, we witnessed the affected area of dengue fever has moved from Kaohsiung to Tainan. And this is something we have to be aware of. And other thing about the sea water rising or the storm surges are studies that we have to perform.
We have to be prepared for the climate change and extreme weather. That's why Democratic Progressive Party legislator Huang Weizhi recommended that the government more than double the bill's current spending on flood control from 72 billion NT dollars to 152 billion NT dollars. It will be welcomed by local governments such as that of Yunlin County, where 33 flood prevention projects are in jeopardy due to a 36 billion NT dollar funding shortfall. Kaohsiung says it has 180 flood control projects relying on 17 billion NT dollars to be allocated by the infrastructure bill, which the government has promised to review or even overhaul the budget allocation of the program since the heavy downpour that took place just not long ago. Flood prevention and other water management issues are necessary and needed to be addressed and completed before the next floods arrived.